Hi, I just wanted to give you another update on my hearing loss journey, my sudden hearing loss journey. Today it has been 2 weeks and a day since I woke up with absolutely no hearing in my right ear and with tinnitus in it and really, really bad vertigo, which for the first couple of days actually had me vomiting quite regularly when I moved my head. So that all happened on the 9th of September 2025. And I've now been on steroids, high dose steroids, for a week. But I have to say that there's been no improvement whatsoever. Nothing, apart from that I've actually become used to it all, and I think I'm managing my symptoms better. Um, Today I've managed to get out and come to a friend's house to look after their dogs while they're out. And I managed that with a walking stick, with a hiking stick, just to give me that extra security. And yesterday I managed to go out for coffee with friends to a bar. Now that was challenging, and I'll tell you why. Because it's really weird when you lose your hearing suddenly and it's accompanied by tinnitus, because that right ear can't actually hear anything at the moment. I mean, 80 decibels, yes, but otherwise, no. But that whole side of my head is just really, really loud white noise all the time. In fact, I think I should name my tinnitus, because I think it's, he's living with me now, and he's a he. He's living with me now. So I think perhaps I should come up with a good name for him. He's just ever present. And the worst thing about it is that it's reactive tinnitus. So when it's quiet in my bedroom at night, the house is kind of asleep, the dogs are snoring, the cats are snoring. It's bearable. It's there, it's loud, but it's bearable. And I would be able to hear someone, with my good ear and with my left ear if they spoke to me. But in the kitchen, when the extractor hood's on, when the microwave's on, when the kettle's on, I've got no hope of distinguishing speech. And yesterday at the bar that we went to for coffee, um, there was background music on and it was quite loud. And my tinnitus gets louder with it. So with the cooker hood type noise, and it gets louder. It's as if it's trying to compete. It's a very brash thing that I've got going on in my head. It likes to compete with things. Um, so it gets louder. My head, inside my head, gets louder, and that makes it really hard to then concentrate on conversation. So yeah, reactive tinnitus is not fun, guys. I really had no clue what tinnitus was really. I thought it was people had ringing going on in their ears and that, but this is really loud white noise. Now, ways that I'm choosing to sort of tackle this, and I'm that kind of person. I want to tackle things head on. If this is it for the rest of my life, is this is my new norm, then I'm going to handle it. There's no way it's going to win. Um, so for sleeping, I've got the MyNoise app, and I've got a lovely headband with little speakers, in the ears. Now I had that for a while because I used to like listening to sort of meditations and that in bed to help me sleep. So I didn't buy that especially, but I'm running the MyNoise app through that to give me sort of white noise sounds like rain, the ocean, or white noise, static white noise. And that seems to just sort of help balance it out left and right, just to have that noise sort of rather than just in one side of my head. So that's one way of dealing with it. I've downloaded, I think it's called Live Transcribe app, which actually, as people talk to you, it transcribes it on your phone live, so you can see it as they speak. You've got their conversation coming up. Now, I'm not sure what that's going to be like in um, noisy places, but we shall see. And I've just signed up for lip reading classes, which start next week, a 10-week term of those, but in fact, I can carry on for the whole year and do 30 weeks. Because I thought, well, if I want to be able to socialize and I want to be able to keep up with conversations and that, then I will learn to lip read so that I'm not reliant on hearing. So there's that, and I've also ordered myself some Flare earplugs, which the calming sort, which I can use in my left ear, just so that perhaps the ambient noise isn't quite as loud, and perhaps that'll help my brain cope with the tinnitus, and the tinnitus might not compete. So we'll see. So that's where I am at the moment. I had the MRI. That's good news in that I haven't got an auditory nerve tumor. I haven't got any lesions or anything showing from a mini stroke or anything. So it's idiopathic, my sudden hearing loss, sudden sensorineural hearing loss. Like most cases, there doesn't seem to be an explanation for it, a cause, and that is the majority of cases of this. It's such a weird thing. I didn't have a cold, don't seem to have had a virus, and there's nothing showing in my brain. My brain's quite normal. I have got a brain, Tim was glad to know. So there's, the MRIs come back clear. So that's good. So I don't have to have any extra treatment, which, phew, I don't have to have radiotherapy or surgery or anything. So it's just learning to cope with this. So my symptoms at the moment are the hearing loss, the really, really loud tinnitus, the vertigo. I'm not feeling sick now unless I make a sudden head movement, like if I suddenly bent over now or I suddenly went to reach up without thinking about it, that would make the world spin. But normally I can kind of cope with that. The balance issues are annoying. Like yesterday, I was people were helping me walk to the bar, which felt a bit weird. So I think I am going to use the stick just to give me some stability. I think just one stick was fine. I managed to walk around here, which is only a 5-minute walk, but I managed to walk around here with a stick. Just gave me that extra stability, because you just feel a bit like a drunk person. You're just a little bit, everything's a little bit blurry around the edges, like you're in a dream. Everything's a bit sort of marshmallowy underfoot, and you can't really walk in a complete straight line. So it's a bit weird. But I want to tell you that I'm fine. I'm not falling apart. I'm not sunk into a depression. I'm really tired. I was doing an online history event, which was doing Zoom calls till really late at night when all of this kind of happened. So I was having to deal with that on top of it, and not sleeping well because of the sudden white noise and that. But so uh, that was tiring. But I think it's also tiring. I think my brain's having to work a lot harder to kind of keep me balanced and that. I'm finding I'm getting slightly double vision when I use an auto prompt for my usual YouTube videos. And that's obviously because my brain, my eyes are just sort of flickering, trying to keep me upright and balanced on the stool that I use. So all kinds of knock-on effects, but I'm not depressed. As I always do, I'm handling things by gathering information, by researching and being proactive, teaching myself, looking for coping mechanisms, because that's the way I work better. Who knows, I might fall apart and have a cry sometime. I'm sure I will. But at the moment, I feel okay. For me, it's not the end of the world. I'm lucky that I work from home, and that I can still do the stuff that I love. I just will have to practice more self-care, I think, and look after myself. But I've got supportive friends, I've got supportive family. So, count my blessings. Got this beautiful village here. Just got to pinch myself and realize how lucky I am. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope that this does help other people that have suddenly got this as their new normal. It's okay, you can do it, we can do it. Anyway, I will update you all soon. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.